A black nanny walked down the aisle in her simple uniform to marry the man she loved, a man everyone believed was homeless. Laughter filled the church, whispers mocked her choice. But when the groom took the microphone, the truth he revealed left every single guest stunned and silenced. Stay tuned. Grace Johnson was 32, a nanny in Birmingham, known for her kindness and soft smile. She had moved from Atlanta to the UK to support her family back home. She never had much, just her uniform, her hard work, and a heart that never stopped giving. Despite her struggles, Grace found joy in caring for children and lifting others up. But love, real love, had always seemed distant, until one rainy night in Victoria Square changed everything. On cold steps outside a square, she noticed him. Daniel Brooks, worn coat, cracked shoes, nothing but a blanket for warmth. People passed him by as though he was invisible. Grace didn't. She offered food and, more importantly, conversation. Night after night, she sat with him, listened, and learned. Behind the ragged clothes was patience, humor, kindness, a man with a heart richer than gold. Slowly, love grew. Against advice, against whispers, she chose him. The church bells rang. Guests filled the pews, many already judging. Grace wore her nanny's uniform as her wedding dress, not out of shame, but because it was all she had. Daniel's suit was old, his shoes cracked. Her friends Melissa, Claire, and Janet mocked quietly from their seats. "This is a joke," one whispered. "She deserves better," another said. But Grace stood tall. She was not marrying appearances. She was marrying love. Grace's vows were trembling but true. "Daniel, I choose you. Not for what you have, but for who you are. You make me feel safe. I love you with all I am." Daniel's deep voice followed. "Grace, you loved me when I had nothing. You are my blessing, and I will love you for the rest of my days." Instead of claps, the crowd laughed. They whispered, "Rest of his days? He doesn't even have a house." Even the groomsman shook his head. Then Daniel raised his hand. Calmly, he walked to the microphone. "I know you laugh at my clothes. I know you think Grace deserves better. But I am not the man you think I am. I am not poor. I am not homeless. My name is Daniel Brooks. I own Brooks Real Estate in London. I am a millionaire. I live this way to see if anyone would love me for me, not for my wealth." Grace did. Gasps filled the room. Smirks vanished. Melissa's jaw dropped, Claire's eyes widened, Janet's face turned red. The laughter was gone, but Grace's eyes filled with tears. Not of joy, of pain. She whispered, "Why didn't you tell me? Love is not a game. You should have trusted me." After the ceremony, as guests swarmed him with sudden respect, she pulled away. She had loved him as he was poor or rich didn't matter. But the test cut deep. Grace stayed away. Calls unanswered. Her heart torn. She replayed the church scene. The laughter, the humiliation, the sudden shift in respect after money was revealed. To her, that wasn't love, it was betrayal. 2 weeks later, Daniel stood at her door in a fine suit, flowers in hand, his voice soft. "Grace, I was afraid. I lost so much to people who wanted only my money. But you showed me real love. Forgive me." Through tears, Grace said, "I never cared about your money. All I wanted was honesty. That was enough." Weeks later, Daniel made it right. He gave Grace the wedding she deserved. Roses filled the church, chandeliers sparkled, and Grace walked the aisle in a stunning white gown. This time, the crowd didn't laugh. They watched in awe. Melissa, Claire, and Janet sat silently, humbled by the lesson. Daniel spoke once more. "Today is not about wealth. It is about truth. Never judge love by appearances. Respect it, because in the end, it is loyalty, kindness, and love that keep a marriage alive." The guests clapped, some with tears. What began in laughter ended in respect. Grace, the nanny mocked for loving a man who looked poor, became the bride honored for seeing the truth of his heart. Their story spread through Birmingham, across churches, and into homes. Parents told it to children. Couples drew strength from it. Grace and Daniel's love proved what the world forgets too easily. True love is never about appearances. It is about the heart. If this story inspired you, remember this: appearances can deceive, but love never lies. Subscribe to Blackish Focus for more stories that reveal courage, dignity, and the power of truth in love. Because sometimes, the greatest lessons come from the stories no one believed at first.